Silence is your superpower, and most people will never understand this truth. When you stop explaining yourself to everyone around you, something powerful begins to happen. Your energy shifts, your mind clears, and suddenly life starts moving in your direction. Not because you forced anything, but because your presence became undeniable. Let me tell you something that changed everything for me. Most people are losing their power every single day, and they don't even realize it. They give it away one text at a time, one apology at a time, one explanation at a time, until they wake up one morning feeling completely empty, tired, anxious, and they have no idea why. The reason is simple. They stopped belonging to themselves. Their time belongs to everyone else. Their energy goes to people who don't even value their own. Their emotions get scattered across 100 different directions, and there's nothing left for them at the end of the day. Think about how your morning usually goes. You wake up, and before you even take a deep breath, before you even feel your own heartbeat, you grab your phone, you check messages, you scroll through social media, you respond to what other people need from you, and just like that, your day already belongs to someone else. Your thoughts are not yours anymore. Your priorities are not yours. Your feelings are being shaped by strangers on the internet, by coworkers who don't care about your dreams, by family members who want you to stay exactly where you are. Comment right now. What time is it? Where you are, and what country are you watching from? I want to know who is awake right now, choosing to focus on themselves instead of wasting time on things that don't matter. Here is the truth that nobody wants to admit. You cannot build anything meaningful when your attention is constantly being pulled in different directions. You cannot lead, you cannot create, you cannot heal yourself if every time you find your rhythm, someone else's chaos interrupts you. You need silence. Not because you are being selfish, but because you are being serious about your life. The first real discipline is learning how to contain your energy, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That means you stop explaining yourself to people who never wanted to understand in the first place. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes just to feel needed or important. You stop overextending yourself for people who treat their own life like a disaster and expect you to clean up their mess. You learn to say no without feeling guilty about it. You learn to sit in silence without apologizing for it. You learn to protect your morning like it is the most important part of your day, because it is. You stop being so available all the time, not because you are cold or you don't care, but because you finally realized your energy is valuable and you have been spending it on the wrong things for way too long. This is where everything shifts. You stop chasing connection and you start honoring your direction. You come back to your breath. You sit in your body fully present. You make conscious decisions instead of emotional reactions. You start moving through life with intention, not performance. And yes, the world will misunderstand you. They will call you selfish. They will say you have changed. They will try to pull you back into their drama because your growth makes them uncomfortable. But let them talk. You are not here to be consumed by chaos. You are here to become something clear, something focused, something powerful. You are here to build a life that belongs to you, not to everyone else's expectations. This is not selfish. This is survival. This is taking your power back. This is sovereignty over your own mind and heart. The moment you start protecting your energy, like your life depends on it, you will realize that. It always did. Let me tell you something about powerful people. They don't speak much. Not because they have nothing to say, but because they know exactly when words are needed and when silence is stronger in a world that rewards noise and volume and constant visibility. The truly powerful move in silence. Their presence alone communicates what others try to explain with 1,000 words. Words are cheap. Anyone can borrow them, repeat them, twist them, but presence is expensive. It must be earned through discipline, through self-work, through actually becoming the person you claim to be. And when that presence is real, when your energy is fully aligned with your purpose, you no longer need to talk about it. You just move differently. You walk into a room and something shifts, not because of what you say, but because of who you are. Watch the people around you. The louder someone speaks, the less they usually control. You see it in the person who constantly interrupts, who always needs to be the smartest one in the room, who cannot handle not being noticed. That is not confidence. That is fear, wearing a mask. Real strength does not chase approval. It does not need to perform. It does not shout to be heard. It exists with such depth that silence becomes more powerful than any words could ever be. You can feel this when someone walks into a room and says nothing, yet everyone notices them. That is not charisma, that is alignment. They know themselves deeply. They govern their own mind and emotions, and because of that, the whole room pays attention. Weak people always need to be seen, to be heard, to be validated by others. Their words are constant because their identity is uncertain. They do not know who they are, so they keep talking, hoping someone will tell them. But the person who has cultivated stillness, who has trained their attention, who has mastered their own energy, does not waste a single word. They do not try to prove they are in control. They simply are in control, and everyone around them can feel it. Here is a paradox that will change your life. The less you need attention, the more you naturally receive it. Not because you are trying to attract anyone, but because humans are wired to seek leadership stability and calm direction. And we find that not in noise, but in the energy of someone who only speaks when it truly matters. Start watching your words like you watch your money. Do not spend them everywhere. Do not pour them into people who have not earned your attention. Do not use words just to fill silence. Because you are uncomfortable with quiet, speak only when it matters. Speak when it serves a real purpose. Speak not to be liked, but to be clear. The most powerful sentence is the one that needs no explanation after it. A clean, no a sharp direction, a brief observation with no extra justification. That is how real influence sounds. Not with fluff but with weight. And that weight does not come from volume. It comes from alignment between your words and your actions. When people know you mean exactly what you say, you never have to repeat yourself. Most people speak because they want to be liked. They are performing for approval. But disciplined people speak to direct, to move things forward, to create change. They speak from stillness, not from insecurity. And when they finish speaking, they return to movement, intentional grounded movement toward their goals. This rhythm of silence, then clarity, then precision is what creates lasting influence. It is not built on hype or charm. It is built on trust. And trust is built when people know you do not need their validation. That is when they really start listening, not responding to your performance, but responding to your essence. And your essence does not need noise. You will never truly win in the external world until you master your internal state. That is the law. And no matter how many books you read, or people you impress, or goals you achieve, nothing will change this fundamental truth. Real control does not begin outside yourself. It begins inside, where nobody can see it, where only you know what is happening in your own mind. The world teaches you to chase external control through money, through status, through recognition, through attraction. But what good is any of it if your mind is filled with chaos, if your emotions control your behavior, if your confidence disappears the moment something does not go your way? External success without internal sovereignty is just noise, and the world already has enough noise. Real power is silent. It is internal order. It is the clarity of someone who has faced their own mind completely and did not run away from what they found. If your thoughts control you, if your mood determines your behavior, if every piece of criticism makes you shrink, then you have not yet earned leadership. You have not yet become the person others can truly respect and trust. Because mastery is not the result of force. It is the result of cleaning up your inner world, sitting in silence until your own patterns rise to the surface, observing the impulses, the insecurities, the addiction to distraction, and instead of reacting, you breathe, you stay, you remain present, and when you finally choose real silence, something strange happens. Not right away, not dramatically, but deeply. You begin to see yourself clearly, not the version you perform for others. Not the mask you wear to get by, but the raw version you have been ignoring through endless distractions. And in that moment, if you choose to stay instead of run, everything changes. You stop blaming others. You stop making excuses. You stop escaping into entertainment and comfort. You face what is real. And in doing so, you begin to become who you were always meant to be. Not because anyone gave you permission, but because you took full responsibility for your own life. The world is chaotic. It is loud and fast and aggressive, but you do not need to match that energy. You do not need to become louder to be heard. You do not need to be more intense to be taken seriously. You only need to rise above it through awareness, not dominance. The person who can remain still while others panic becomes the leader. The person who speaks slowly while others shout holds the real influence. The person who watches their own mind before judging others gains true understanding. When you focus on yourself with complete intensity, when you treat your inner world like sacred ground, you begin to take back everything you lost. Your posture changes naturally, your walk changes, your breath deepens, your thoughts become clear, not because you are trying to impress anyone, but because you cleared away the mental fog. Silence reveals everything. It separates real friends from fake ones. It shows you who actually valued you and who only stayed because of what you gave them. Once you stop performing, the illusions disappear, and yes, that can hurt. At first, it is painful to realize how much of your life was built on transactions, how many people were just using your attention and energy. But that pain is a gift because it shows exactly where your energy was leaking. Once those leaks are exposed, you can finally start rebuilding, slowly, cleanly, deliberately. Fewer people, less noise, more power. You are not behind in life, you are just too distracted. That is the real truth. Most people will never accept. They are not failing because they lack talent or potential. They are failing because their attention is fractured from the moment they wake up. But when you commit to 1 hour of focused, silent work every single day, no phone, no distractions, no noise, you will separate yourself from everyone who stays scattered. You do not need motivation. Motivation disappears. Discipline is what remains. And that quiet daily execution builds the version of you that nobody can ignore. Everything you want, the peace, the clarity, the purpose is waiting on the other side of discipline. Not shortcuts, not external validation, just consistent daily practice. Focus on yourself, train your silence, and let everything that does not serve you fall away. Like and subscribe. Buddhism, focus for more videos like this. Your future self will thank you for choosing discipline today.